oil, yet did not die? Many people remember that he wrote the book of Revelation, but very few know that before that world-shaking prophecy was ever written, Rome once tried to end his life with a pot of boiling oil. It was not an ordinary punishment. It was a public execution deliberately arranged for everyone to witness. Because John was not only the last living disciple of Jesus, but even in his old age, he refused to remain silent. He continued preaching Christ and testifying about the Lord who rose from the dead. To Rome, a man like that was more dangerous than any sword, because what he was shaking was not a city wall, but the hearts of people. So the king decided to send a message to the entire city in the most brutal way possible. Anyone who follows Jesus will end in destruction. The fire was stoked higher, the oil was heated until it boiled. Inside the massive cauldron, the oil churned and burst like molten lava. The crowd grew larger and larger. Everyone was waiting for one moment, waiting to see the elderly disciple swallowed by the scorching oil, waiting to hear his screams tear through the air, waiting for Rome to crush this spreading faith with a single bloody spectacle. But when John was finally thrown into the boiling oil, what happened next was nothing like they expected. There was no scream, no struggle, no flesh collapsing under the burn of the heat, only a terrifying silence. Because John did not die. In that moment, it was not only the people who were shocked. Even Rome itself had to admit something. They could light the fire, they could heat the oil, they could drag a man to the instrument of execution, but they did not have the power to decide that man's ending. As long as God had not finished John's mission, not even the hottest fire could consume him. In the end, Rome could not kill him, so they exiled him to the island of Patmos. But what they thought was exile, God turned into the doorway of revelation. And it was on that lonely island that John wrote the book of Revelation. So the most astonishing part of this story is not simply that John was thrown into boiling oil and survived. It is that it suddenly reveals something deeper. The thing that truly decides a person's ending is never the hottest fire in front of them. It is whether their life still carries a purpose that has not yet been finished.